The National Human Rights Commission has developed a draft policy on the protection of civilians in conflict situations and civilian harm mitigation. This consultative forum, in collaboration with the Center for Civilians in Conflict, was held in Abuja and had in attendance key players of security agencies and the judiciary. TVC News' Celestina Area has details.
The National Policy on the Protection of Civilians and Civilian Harm Mitigation is a wake-up call for relevant authorities to reflect on issues affecting citizens, especially those in places affected by insurgency, and efforts to mitigate these happenings and their effects. Following that, a draft policy was developed in 2016 to show the federal government's commitment to its constitutional responsibilities and adhering to its obligation under international law.
Ensure that all internal security operations prioritize safety and security of civilians and make every effort to minimize the negative effects of conflicts on the Nigerian people.
Protection of civilians and civilian harm mitigation, therefore, is a wake-up call for us to reflect on issues affecting our citizens, especially those in places affected by the insurgency.
This consultative meeting brings together stakeholders comprising both government and non-governmental actors to deliberate on critical themes necessary for the improvement and enjoyment of human rights in Nigeria.
There is no doubt that as law enforcement agencies and other security authorities continue to tackle the threats posed by violent conflict and insurgency in parts of the country, operational challenges to counter the menace in these places, particularly in high-densely populated areas where the operations take place, are bound to record displacements, injuries, and oftentimes death, with attendant human rights and humanitarian consequences. Indeed, this reality that confronts us as a country certainly requires concerted efforts such as this gathering, which I am confident will give the necessary impetus to achieving a policy direction on trainings.
It's worthy of note that the Northeast, where the armed forces of Nigeria is currently engaged, is a particular area of consideration. This is more so because contemporary security challenges that necessitate military operations have evolved over time from conventional warfare to asymmetric operations.
5 key elements about this policy that make it commendable, and it cannot be overemphasized. The first one is that it is both groundbreaking and yet proven. In many respects, the policy codifies and expands best practices the government has already adopted to date, including a lot of the work being undertaken in the Northeast to ameliorate the effects of humanitarian situation and crisis.
At the end of this deliberation, the policy document will be received by the Attorney General of the Federation for adoption by the Federal Executive Council. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.